Okay, it's me, Cynical Italian. It's time to finish the SilverScream. Let's finish it. All right, so here it is, the actual cinematic conclusion to the SilverScream Part 1 from Ice Nine Kills, Your Numbers Up. We did the song. It was a good song. I enjoyed it. But now we're going to finish this movie. We're going to finish this first story album. It's 5.5 minutes long. It looks like it literally is a 5.5 minute movie. We're going to watch it. This may be boring, but hopefully it ties everything in, and we'll talk about it. But let's get recording going, and it is up and done. Make it big. And here's the end for real this time. Your Numbers Up, the finale.
What was it that was going on in your life that made you seek out therapy in the first place?
NK Games, detailing his involvement in the
Wait, go back.
medical community. Local police were first led to the home after the miraculous escape by metal band Ice Nine Kills frontman Spencer Charnick.
Do you know how lucky you are?
Amazingly sustained only minor
Being so close to death
Minor.
really puts things in perspective of what's important.
And all of us here at the station wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, when you get out of
Our
here,
thoughts and prayers
I'm
are
taking
with
you to dinner in a scary movie.
More on this story as it develops. Reporting live, I'm Roy Merkin. Back to
So he committed the final murders in the It Is the End, and then beat the crap out of himself so that he would look like he had been attacked too. Smart, Spencer, smart.
If you need anything, you know who to ring.
Woo woo.
When Santa Rosa police received a tape that appears to be a recording of a phone call Sarah was having on the night of her.
So that's what that phone call they're talking about now is what we watched in the last video.
Very graphic and disturbing. Your discretion is advised.
Salem Memorial Hospital, Casey speaking. Salem Memorial.
In case you couldn't hear that, that was a ghostly voice saying, "It's your turn now. It's your turn now." Whether or not you pick that up on whatever device you're watching this on, let's keep going.
Hi, Mom.
Casey, are you working the graveyard shift again?
I am, but I only have 2 more weeks, and then I'll be back to days.
I just don't like the idea of you being in that big hospital all alone, especially with all the murders.
Mom, this is probably the safest place I could be right now.
That's why she should have a gun.
Just remember, dinner at Grammy's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Don't be late, okay?
I'll be at Grandma's 7 p.m. sharp. But in the meantime, get some rest, okay?
Okay, sweetie. Good night.
I love you too. Good night.
In my opinion, male or female, if you're working a graveyard shift in any kind of a situation that's big and by yourself, you should have self-protection on you at all times. That's just coming from me. That's what I believe. You don't have to, but you should have protection. And if you have a wife that's out doing graveyard and she doesn't have protection as a husband, you should go get her protection because you're not there. She's by herself. She should be protected one way or another. Let's go. So That was a really aggressive alarm. I'm going to tell you that I worked when I was younger. One of the first jobs as an adult was I worked graveyard shift at a nursing home, running through and taking care of all of the clients while you would think that they're all sleeping. No, you're waking them up every 45 minutes and giving them pills and stuff. Nursing homes are horrible. They never get to sleep. You're the nurses. What I was a certified nurse's aide. And my job was all night, literally go from room to room to room 5 times a night, was to just run a circle through the rooms, fix beds, clean them, whatever. But wake them. Had to wake them up every time I walk in the room. I got to wake them up, give them pills, give them this, give them that. They don't ever get sleep. It's crazy. Anyways, I had those alarms that would scare the crap out of you in the middle of the night. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I worked in a big facility, so I was in the north west wing, and I was there by myself. Every once in a while, I might see a head nurse, but for the most part, I was in that whole wing of the facility by myself and all the clients. But just by myself, they're locked in rooms, and so when you're just bebopping along in the middle of the night, you're starting to get tired, and all of a sudden, your pager goes off, or you're in the work break office room and the lights buzz and flash. Sometimes it can scare the crap out of you. I've never worked someplace that had an aggressive, we have a hurricane coming type alarm though. So, but yes, I have done this type of work when I was like 19 and 20 years old. Let's go back into it. Sorry, I had a flashback. That's an aggressive buzz. I'm going to tell a story really fast. I had this little old lady, Mrs. Erickson, little old lady. She was late 80s, early 90s, tiny little thing. When I started working there, her room was different than everybody else's. She had a table next to her bed with a little bell. Now, the real buzzer is they've got the controller for their beds, and there's a call the nurse button. And when that goes off, then a beeper goes, the big bell in the other room, and the lights flash outside, and outside the door all flashes so you know who it is that needs something. She was just a lonely old lady who didn't sleep, had complete insomnia, but she was so lonely and bored that she was always constantly hitting that button, to where the nurses ended up disconnecting it and turning it off, and then gave her a bell. Problem was that she would hit that bell all goddamn night too. And there would be times it'd be so hilarious. I might be in the room right next to her, or be walking down the hall, and all of a sudden I hear ding, 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 ding. And I could look in the window, or not in the window, but in the door, and see her hitting the bell, and then bust in. What can I help you with? And she'd be like, Oh, I must have just been moving. I accidentally hit. I was an accident. Or it would be she'd play like she was sleeping and just play dumb. Like, honey, it's a bell. The only way it rang was because you were beating it, and she's in there beating it until you come, and then she'd fake it. Oh, funniest old lady. Never forget her and her bell. Oh. Let's get back to the video. You don't care about my past life. Let's go. I can tell you whatever she's doing right now, she wouldn't be doing in a hospital. This has nothing to do with her whatsoever. She wouldn't be in any of these areas. There's maintenance people that would be on that. She'd make a call, and somebody else would be handling this. It wouldn't be her. Sorry, I like realism in my horror movies. This wouldn't be her. So is that Spencer? Okay. All right. All right. Jack the Ripper-ish. What the? That was a little more gruesome than needed. Not like the stabbing her and slicing her up wasn't a little overkill, but the Jack the Ripper ripping her guts out was kind of... Okay, obviously. I don't see a 9 on it, though. And then there's just a straight 9 mask. That looks like a Slipknot mask, sorry. That's it? That was it. Okay. That was it. So was that in that mask the introduction to Horrorwood? Is that what that mask was? That mask was definitely very reminiscent of the masks that Slipknot gives to brand new members. So we'll get off of Ice Nine Kills here for a second. For those of you that aren't Slipknot fans, you know who Slipknot are. You know they wear masks. So Slipknot, every album and every time they do a new tour, they all do it's new masks. And so there have been songs where there's usually a song on the new album that kind of depicts the change that happened to each of them and how the mask changes from to the next stage of their life. But the masks are always new. When new members come on board, which unfortunately has happened quite a bit over the last 10 years, you're not given an identity right off the bat. You're all given a number, so they are numbered 1 through 9. But their mask is a very plain, like the final mask that we just saw there. It's a very plain, just distorted, almost scarecrow-ish looking, and that's it. And that's what they get. And then as they spend time with the band and become part of the family, that then when the next round of masks come, they're allowed to then create a mask and create an identity. And I want to say that the last drummer didn't change his mask. He pretty much stuck when it was time to do his own mask. He kind of stuck with that scarecrowy look because he liked it, and so it kind of just stayed with him. But anyways, that's Slipknot. We're not talking about Slipknot. We're talking about Ice Nine Kills. I don't know if that was him or not, because it showed the Jason mask and the Michael mask, and they had the 9 logo on them. The Scream mask did not have a number on it. So I'm going to pay attention to that, because in the mask that he opens up did have the 9. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in 2026. That's right. We got a bunch of other stuff to do and the holidays. Next couple of weeks, we're just going to kind of bounce through some other stuff. We did these. We have finished the SilverScream. We will start Horrorwood. The first looks like it is Assault and Batteries. Is the first one. No, Hip to Be Scared. So I think that we're going to do Hip to Be Scared again. Now that I've gotten into it, I think I'm going to revisit the Hip to Be Scared video. And then we'll go from that into the next ones. But we will do a revisit to Hip to Be Scared on January 1st, 2026. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Josiah, Cynical Italian. Ice Nine Kills rocks. Now I can go and listen to the first 2 albums all I want. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. See you in the next one.